Good afternoon. I'm Captain Michael O'Leary, Commanding Officer of Naval Sport Activities South Potomac. We're doing our virtual town hall today for housing and for some other topics that we'll introduce here today. So I'll introduce my panel. To my left, your right on the camera, is Master Chief Medina, the Command Master Chief for Naval Sport Activities South Potomac. To my immediate right here is Lieutenant Commander Saletto, the Chaplain for Naval Sport Activities South Potomac. And to the far right over here is Janet Jackson. She is the Family Housing, correct, at
Correct.
Indian Head? Just want to make sure, because sometimes I mess up the housing things. I just want to make sure I get the title right.
Correct, Housing Director of Dahlgren.
Housing Director, Dahlgren.
Dahlgren.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I always mess things up. That's why I ask people to introduce themselves most of the time, because I
No
always mess
worries.
things up. But I want to say thank you everyone who gave us questions to talk about today, and we have some other topics we'll talk about as well. But what I like to do is I like to kick it off with the questions here, realizing it's been a challenging time since COVID kicked off. We have had to shut a lot of things down, and that's some of the questions on here to keep people safe. Is direction from higher, and we're hoping that we'll get things open here shortly. But let me go to the questions, and I'll turn things over to the rest of the panel. So questions from Indian Head, and I'm going to group question 1, 2, and 4 here because they're all kind of same, but I'll read them off. What are the CO's intentions to help boost morale aboard the installation? Is the CO aware of the morale of the Marine sailors and families is low due to lack of amenities and activities? What are the CO's goals, intentions, and objectives in regards to COVID in conjunction with life aboard Naval Port Activities South Potomac, or NSF Indian Head, excuse me. So obviously we've closed everything down. We've been mission essential since basically March. Now the good news is that we just got permission and we're shifting to Health Protection Condition Bravo, and we're going stage 2 of our reopening, which means you'll start seeing some more of these amenities and activities beginning to open. We won't open up right full way we were before. You may not get there for another year. Just to give everybody, to gauge your expectations here, you're not going to see a summer like last summer. You'll see some activities, some other things with a lot of mitigations in place, probably still social distancing, limit numbers of people and activities you can do, still wearing face coverings and things of that nature. But you'll start seeing, we're going to try to get, the library back open at some point to some degree, try to get the pool open to some degree as we go forward, realizing everything we have to do, we have to make sure that your safety, which is always my first priority, is kept. So we can't have an outbreak of COVID, and we want to keep everybody safe as we go forward. So just realize we're going to try to get a lot of things done. However, one of the things we have done in this scenario, and I apologize if I'm breathing, this mask is making me breathe a lot of the face mask into my mouth. Fleet and Family Readiness has done a lot of incredible things as best they could virtually. Via our Fleet and Family Readiness Dahlgren Facebook page and our Fleet and Family Readiness Indian Head pages, we have posted a lot of activities, and by the way, both of those link to a YouTube channel that we now have. We've been posting a lot of different videos for workouts and navigation with the stars and several other things that have been going on. But some of the activities and programs we've done virtually, backyard scavenger hunts, some STEAM activities, spring and summer reading programs for children and adults, fitness bingo, video craft demonstrations, movie trivia, and more. I know the movie trivia, I really want to participate. I'm not allowed to. I'm sure I would have crushed everybody. But it was a lot of fun to see the people who came up, and I believe what was the gift was a $5 or $10.
Movie theater tickets.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Not money. Movie theater tickets when our movie theater opens back up here. So excited about all that, and they've done a lot of great things. So again, please go to our Fleet and Family Readiness Indian Head and Dahlgren Facebook pages. That also take us to our YouTube pages. On to question 3 from Indian Head. Has the CO completed a walkthrough courtesy check within base housing? Has he given total control and oversight to Lincoln Military Housing? Well, control is Lincoln Military Housing primary job. And oversight, to my far right here, is Miss Janet Jackson, who is helping me keep that oversight. Realizing restrictions for COVID apply to me too. I don't get to go everywhere. I have been very cautious about how I get around because God, hopefully I'm not sick, I don't feel sick, I do my checks like everyone else does, I take my temperature every day. But if I am sick, I don't want to be the one that spreads it around needlessly. So I've been relying on people to come and tell me information. I've been kept up to date on a lot of information as best we can. But I'll turn it over to Ms. Jackson over here if you want to talk briefly on what you do and how you've been helping us out.
Absolutely, Captain. So this is my 9th year in government service. I would like to say that I'm happy to be back here at South Potomac. And I'll definitely give 2 contact numbers that I can be reached at if anyone has any military family housing concerns or questions. The number for Dahlgren is 540-653-8505. And if you have any concerns for Indian Head, that number is 301-744-4317. As I stated, I'm here and I'm definitely happy to assist with any question or matter.
Excellent. And welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
So those who don't know, she ran our Navy Gateway Inns and Suites. Another base stole her away, and we got to steal her back to help us run our family housing. So I'm really excited to have her back on the team, and I think it seems like you're happy to be back.
I'm happy to be aboard.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's great to have you back. I'm excited for all the great things you're going to do and help us out with as we go forward. So I want to go on to some of the Dahlgren questions. When is the road work going to be completed on the road next to the chapel? It's been months since the captain said, if it's my road, I'll fix it. Well, we have confirmed it's my road. Here's why it's not repaired yet. So in the wintertime, all our asphalt plants go offline. Unfortunately, they didn't come back online in the spring because of COVID. It sounds like a convenient excuse, but there's people who have to go in and do those things. They didn't deem them essential to come back in and do these things. So, by the end of this fiscal year, and if we can't get it done, it'll be the beginning of next fiscal year, it will be completed. So by the end of this calendar year, before we go back into the winter again, that should be completed. It took a little while to figure out who owned it, with the lines drawn with Lincoln Housing and what the base owns. We figured out it's mine, and we're going to get after it. So it's been programmed. The Public Works Officer assured me he's going to get it completed, and I have the utmost confidence it's going to be done, and everyone's going to be pleased. And then hopefully we'll have another mild winter and it won't be torn up again. But we're going from there. All right. Is there land on base where a community garden can be located? We would like to grow some vegetables somewhere other than in a pot. So as of now, we do not have a space designated for a community garden, but it is a nice idea. If you have an idea of space you think it may work, I'd like you to please share it with both Janet and the Lincoln team to see if there's an area we can do that. Now realize, asking for that is one thing. Keeping it up is a team effort. It is not going to fall to Lincoln Housing and Janet to keep that up. If you guys want that, and I support that if we can find a place and it works out and we work out all the other regulations, I'd very much like the community to keep it up. That's pulling weeds, keeping the fencing out, keeping the animals out, keeping it free of other things, and making sure bad things don't happen in there, and make sure people don't grow things that don't belong in a community garden. So I ask, if as we go forward, please keep that in mind. Work with Janet. She already gave her contact information, and we'll see what we can come up with, and she'll be the lead for me to make sure environmental gets pulled in and everyone else to make sure that we do everything right and above board as we go forward. Okay, next question. Can we please get a dog park? And I know other installations around the country have had that, and it's come up before. Unfortunately, I am limited in what I can use my resources for. For those that don't know, I generally get 60 to 70% of what I need every single year to maintain my utilities and my facilities. So me using money on a dog park is generally not something that I would like to spend my resources on. However, we continue to have the conversation. I don't know if Lincoln has an appetite for that, but again, I got a housing director here who can field those for you and see if Lincoln's capable and willing to do that. And again, you have to make sure it's okay with environmental and everybody else. So I ask again to deflect. I like this. Okay. It's great having you here. Hey, welcome back. To deflect that over to there. But as of right now, in terms of the installation supporting that, I right now, I don't see that as a priority with all my other challenges with my facilities. I understand it is a big quality of life thing, And I'm sorry that I have to kind of draw the line on that one. I have other things I need to spend my resources on in this time. Money's getting tighter and tighter, and I really want to keep my buildings and my utilities up. So it's not that I don't care. I have to draw the line and prioritize what I really need to do. But if Lincoln can help us out, over to Lincoln. So thank you for that. And then hurricane preparedness plan. This is actually a really good question. Is there a plan? Yes, there is. What type of safety measures does housing provide for residents to board their homes? What's the basic evacuation plan? Is there a mandatory evacuation or shelter-in-place plan? Yes to all, except for the boarding of the houses. I don't believe that Lincoln does that. And is that true, Janet?
Not that I know of. I'm not
Okay.
aware.
We'll ask, but the initial answer I was told was no.
Okay.
But we'll go back and confirm as we go forward. However, we have been pushing out, especially during HUREX, we pushed out a lot of information over social media about being prepared. There's also the Navy Ready, or readynavy.mil site out there for you guys to go to, and there's also a ready.gov. In general, you're going to need to support yourselves for 3 to 4 days. Food, water, medicine, emergency radios, external batteries to keep your cell phones charged, making sure your NFAS is updated. So make sure you have the app, because chances of you getting to an NMCI machine and one that's working and has power. So there's a lot of things that have to all line up for that to work. If you do it on your phone and you need help, that's how the Navy is going to pull if you need help and any resources. But again, 3 to 4 days, whether you shelter in place, and how that's going to come down is the determination of the storm's going to hit us directly, or if it's going to be an indirect thing. That determines whether or not we evacuate. If we're going to take the brunt of it, it's a big storm and we can't weather it out, I will order evacuation. I have to talk with my boss. There's a lot of other rules and regulations and legalities that go into it, but your safety is important to me. And if I feel evacuation is the safest course of action, I will order an evacuation of the facility. And we will point you to a direction that is a safe haven. So we know someplace that's outside the path of the hurricane that has availability, most likely probably someplace west of the Shenandoahs, or up there like Culpeper, some other places west. If you're over in southern Maryland, I may be telling you to leave a little bit earlier just so you can get across the bridges, because you generally don't want to go east in a hurricane on the East Coast. You generally want to go west. But realizing there are going to be constraints getting across the Harry Nice Middleton Bridge, or driving up and going across the Beltway to get across the Potomac River. So there are those things out there as we go forward. Further, we talked about being ready. Your animals, make sure you have food, water for your animals, and any other special things that you all need to go forward. I believe that's most of the, I think that's all the questions I have. You want to talk to me back, sir? Yeah. Master Chief?
Well, Chaps, you want to take the lead on the EFAC and then discuss, if we have a hurricane, what the EFAC provides?
Great.
If we decide to evacuate the base?
Yeah, sure. So I, Chaplain Salito, the Fleet and Family Support Center would stand up an emergency facility as far as for information and as far as referral, but also there's some other emergency supplies. I'm kind of looking over here as well. Water and just emergency things of that nature.
Yes,
But the goal would be to not be here together if we need to get out. But in the event of people who would be here, yeah, there'd be an EFAC, a single point of contact for all information.
And even if you evacuate, chances are we'll at least have a phone line
Right.
set up for you to receive information, to reach out to us if you run into problems, if you can't get on the NFAS, if for whatever reason things come up. We will have at least a virtual EFAC phone number established for you to reach back to us. And we'll also have information to provide you there. And as always, we do have social media. So we do have the South Potomac Facebook page. We have the Fleet and Family Readiness pages, and we would be putting information out across all potential platforms for us to make sure you continue to stay in touch as we go forward. But we did do a good EFAC this last time, and how to
Yes,
do
we
it
did.
virtually. You want to talk a little more about that, Master Chief?
So leading through the conversation in EFAC, we discovered a lot of little things that were not doing before that we are doing now. So I can pretty much guarantee that the EFAC would be a completely effective tool if we needed to stand it up in the event of a hurricane. And even if we're evacuated, as the captain said, we would stand the virtual EFAC up, so we still can show you where to go to provide those resources. If you're out of water and you're stranded in a hotel that's west 50 miles, wherever that looks like, we will look for those resources and we will still be available there for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Master Chief, and thanks for bringing that up. I think I missed one of I didn't talk about esports. One of the cool things we did, I was just reading the notes from my fantastic N9 director. Navy MWR Esports. We started that back in mid-May to the present. So basically gaming online. So I just wanted to, sorry to jump around on that. That just jumped out on the paper before we jump over to other things. But Chaps, I want to turn over to you and talk about some of the great stuff you've been doing with the chapel, some of the virtual and hybrid services you've been doing, and as you go forward. So over to you.
Well, thanks, sir. There's a couple of different ways that my department connects with you. One of those is the obvious one, and that is providing the chapel service we've got. Right now we had to pare down to just the non-denominational service, but we have that online. So the best way to find that link online is to download the Dahlgren Chapel app. So if you go to either your Apple Play Store or Android or Google Play, Dahlgren Chapel app, and that's actually where we have all of our service, all of our opportunities, whether it be Muslim or Catholic or non-denominational. Then you just gotta drill down and you find those links. But also, I'm partnering with Fleet and Family for a marriage communications class coming up in July. So more to follow on the Facebook page for when that's going to happen. It'll be a live Q&A. And that was really good. They interviewed my wife and I back in April for that, and we had a good time talking. And then also we will, as we open up the base, a lot of folks use the annex for their scouts, for Sea Cadets, and so all that's still on pause as we are opening the base up in a crawl, walk, run. Opening the annex for scouts and other groups will be probably closer to the walk phase, not in the crawl phase. So Dahlgren Chapel app, and also the Facebook page with Fleet and Family for the future classes.
Awesome. Thank you. Master, you got anything else you want to put out? This will probably be the last time you get to do a video before you head out.
So for those of you who know me, hello. I'll be leaving soon. As we reopen and we are crawling at first, be patient. It's going to take patience to get there. But get out there with your families while you can, but be safe. I was just telling Chaps a few moments ago, just my daughter and myself, just to do something different since they've been locked up for the last few months. Just her and I are going out of town for a week, for an evening for Daddy-Daughter Day. But I thought of that just out of the blue, and it's not something I've ever done. And the reason I'm bringing that up is take the time to figure out how to make it worth it while we're in the crawl phase moving forward. So,
Excellent, thanks. Chaps, you got anything else you'd like to?
Yes, sir. I just say just patience with each other and find new ways to make things good.
Excellent. Any last words?
No, I don't have anything else.
Awesome. Well, again, I'd like to thank everybody. Part of the reason why South Potomac is in HBCOM Bravo and starting our stage 2 is because of all the fantastic work and all the collaboration and everyone being patient with us and staying home and social distancing, physically distancing, whatever term you want to use. We're the first one in Navy District, Washington to get back to that stage. Part of that is what's happening outside the fence line. We're not in DC and we don't have quite the population density that they have up there. Plus, on base numbers have been extraordinarily low because of everybody doing the right thing, and I very much appreciate that. So as we start to open, I'd like to maintain that great collaboration and support of you guys doing everything the right way so we can continue to progressively move things open further, open up more activities, more services as we go forward. And I need everyone's help to do that the right way, because if we have a problem, I have to pull things back, and I don't want to do that. And I know we can do it. We've done this part exceptionally well. we did Charlie really, really exceptionally well, and I'm very, very pleased with everyone, and thank you profusely. I can't say thank you enough for all the great work of you guys doing that. I know for some people, introverts like myself, we enjoy some solitude. It's nice to not have to go out all the time. But even I was starting to get a little antsy, and then I want to go out and do some things. As introverted as I am. And I know you extroverts are out there losing your minds. And hopefully you have found some other means of, whether you got to go run a marathon every day to burn off the extra energy so you're tired when you come home, or whatever you're doing. I hope you've all found that. But again, I appreciate you all coming out and doing the right thing. So thank you again for sending the questions. I really do much appreciate the questions for the town hall. We kind of did a hybrid town hall / installation update, but never miss an opportunity, because I can't get out in front of everyone. I can't meet you in person just yet. And this will be my last one. As I will be leaving in July as well. I'll leave before Master Chief by 3 days.
Actually, no, sir, I'm leaving the same day as you now.
Oh. Okay, we're leaving the same day now.
Before your change of command.
Untrue. I won't let you go before me. But so Master Chief and I will be leaving mid-July, and my replacement is already on board. We're turning over Captain Todd Copeland. You'll get an opportunity to see him sometime in the future. And then who's your replacement again, Master Chief?
Master Chief Heisel.
Master Chief Heisel, coming from Lemoore, California.
Yes, sir.
A fire controlman by initial trade, right?
Yes, sir.
So fire controlman coming here to work South Potomac, where we train fire controlmen for the Aegis system. I don't think he was an Aegis guy, was he?
No, sir.
He wasn't an Aegis guy, but more akin to that than a bunch of Airedales running around doing stuff. So, although Captain Copeland is also an Airedale by trade, but I don't want to steal his thunder. He'll give you a video and get a chance to talk to you about his background as he goes forward. So, thank you all. Please stay safe. Wash your hands, and you all, God bless. Take care.